for this final assignment, I wanted to create an awareness campaign for the pre-existing social movement known as Priority for the Disabled and bring into light more lesser-known problems and issues pertaining to people with disabilities, primarily people with physical disabilities. By using visual cues and or metaphor mixed with quotes from social, governmental, or political sources such as national network, such as this quote from the Child Welfare Fact Sheet that from ADA.org. The aesthetic that I chose for this is I wanted the aesthetic to be more hand drawn so that it feels less manufactured and more personal and human, which is apparently from comments from Jared. He's stating that I succeeded in that regard, that I made this feel human, which is exactly what I wanted from this. So, I wanted to use visuals to tell a sort of story to reinforce the dialogue that I have, and instead of the other way around, instead of the dialogue reinforcing the images, I wanted the images to be the focal point, is what I'm trying to say. And I was also careful not to overload with too much information and overload the viewer with too much information. I wanted the visuals to speak more for the composition. For this first out of 3 posters for this movement, I wanted to bring to light the inequities in child welfare for parents with disabilities. I thought about the stress and pressures put onto parents who might lose their parental rights and gave it a physical, symbolic form with this weight. The little stresses about it, such as with the frequent governmental interferences, where I decided to embody as sandbags, added onto this overall large, all-encompassing weight of the child welfare system as a whole. Secondly, it's common for healthcare to allocate more medicinal services and resources to more able-bodied persons. Like, they can come to the conclusion that they have a better quote-unquote quality of life than those with disabilities because of stereotypes regarding what it's like to live with said disability. The article titled Wilson Crisis Standards of Care May Discriminate Against Patients with Disabilities from the Regulatory Review website goes more into detail about this if you want to check it out. So I thought about what 2 objects I could fuse for visual metaphor, and I thought a balance and the healthcare symbol would have been more appropriate to visually show the imbalance. I thought it would have been a clever use of like metaphorical fusion of images. Lastly here, I read that, so in my research I read that in a few years, in my research I came across CNBC.com and WashingtonPost.com regarding by 2034 Social Security payments will be cut and that the government isn't really doing anything to deal with this fact. So I wanted to create something about that. First thing I thought about was, okay, maybe I could do something clever with the Social Security logo. And noticed its round shape and thought like I could create like a stopwatch clock symbolism with that leading to 2034 to symbolize that they're running out of time. And I reworked the bottom shape of the logo into a trash can because first I was like, hey, that kind of looks like the rivet, that kind of looks like the grooves on like a typical metal trash can. So I thought like showing the eagle throwing away the money would be really clever. And I feel this is my best piece. I really enjoy this one. I love how everything came together with this. And those are the 3 posters I wanted to do to kind of educate people about issues that others don't really, the more lesser known issues that people know about regarding people with disabilities.